Good afternoon, everybody. This is Atmospheric Alex here with a special kind of video. This is what I'd like to call an urgent local forecast discussion. I've been looking at the models today, seeing the risks of severe weather quickly increasing, and I thought it would be pretty mindful of me to tell you all what exactly could happen today. As we take a look at our first product here, this is the Storm Prediction Center's convective outlook for today. And as you can see, the majority of our viewing area here is under a slight risk for severe weather. That is a level 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. And generally, when you're under one of these, you can actually expect to see severe weather. It's, definitely, as I would say, the cutoff line from nothing to almost everything. Well, with all that aside, it is time to look at our HRRR model to see what the radar could look like in the next few hours here. Note that this is a model, so it can be a little bit inaccurate at times. You could see storms really start to fire off here. We're talking about southern Kentucky, by 4 to 5 p.m. this evening. And in northern Tennessee here, you can see a big cluster of storms that begins to fire off, and a ton of storms down here near Huntsville and Chattanooga. So, believe it or not, I'm about to tell you this cluster of storms down here is going to dictate what all of this does up in here. That's what I've seen out of latest model data. As we continue marching the clock along, we're heading now into around 7 p.m. this evening. You could see a cluster of strong, possibly even severe thunderstorms that are moving off to the southeast here. Now, as they approach Knoxville here in these areas, but down here, severe weather still looking a lot more likely. Chattanooga points south. And like I said, this will have an influence on our weather up here today. Moving the clock forward, we can see this model gets a little bit insane here. It shows a bunch of supercells firing off. There is a chance of an isolated supercell with weak rotation, but I really do not think we're going to see any tornadic threat today. I think these are mostly going to bow out into a very strong to even damaging wind risk here across far eastern Tennessee, as you can see. These storms push through Knoxville, talk about Kodak, even Sevierville here. I want to note this model in particular shows a large hail core. I do not think this is going to happen. The hail risk for today is almost zero, so wouldn't be so concerned about that. What I'd be more concerned about is the threat for potentially damaging winds here in the form of maybe a macro burst. This area saw something similar to this yesterday, and boy, did it pack a punch when it moved through. I will show you all in a little bit why I do think there is a chance for this to happen again, rather it be stronger or weaker than yesterday. And really, these storms continue to just blossom up here. We have another round of potentially strong storms making their way southeast again. Yep, I know, just the same song and dance. It looks like even a bit of a severe thunderstorm yet again. Now we're talking, around 11 p.m. tonight? This seems a little bit crazy, but regardless, of your first round around 7 to 9 p.m., your second round, if it moves in, around 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. tonight. So just be mindful of that, as it could get a little serious out there at times. And even more storms move through. Heavy rain will be a big concern, especially for training storms. And we see more storms overnight. Possibly some more strong storms. I really doubt this at this point. Hey, fellow lightning photographers out there, I would recommend getting your cameras ready tonight. We could be seeing some crazy lightning shows tonight. Alright, thank goodness I didn't forget to go over this part, as I almost did. I had to catch myself after recording this. The reason why your storms down here in Chattanooga will impact everything that happens to the north is because of something I have noticed over the past few years here. It seems like storm coverage has a tendency to balance itself out across areas. So if you have tons of storm coverage down to the south, you might not have as much to your north. Just kind of something I've noticed here. And you can see this theory at play here on the HRRR model, this latest run, 19Z. We looked at the other one before. Look at how your storms stay off to the north more. They don't dip down towards Gatlinburg or the Smokies or anything. They stay further north because look at your storm coverage down here. Do you see kind of the issue here? You're going to have your clear area right within here. You're not going to have any new cloud development. So let's see tonight and this evening if this theory does come to fruition. And if it does, we are seeing increased storm coverage a little bit further south here. So possibly your chances of severe weather may downtrend slightly. But please don't take your eyes off the radar by any means, or even the forecast. Stay weather aware. But that is just something to keep in mind here in a personal theory that I haven't really explained much before. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're looking here at our HRRR model again, and you can see these storms just like to gust out everywhere they can here in these bowing structures, which could contain, like I said, strong to damaging winds. I sound like a broken record at this point, but that's your main risk for these storms. Look at this, though, around 8 p.m. Boom! A huge swath here of damaging winds blow straight through, straight through areas like Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, even getting down to Gatlinburg here, Pittman Center. This model in particular wants upwards of 70-mile-an-hour winds. So just keep this in mind. We have the risk for a potential macro burst event. Basically, when your storm begins to weaken and it tries to re-strengthen while winds are gusting out of it already, it'll tend to bow outwards here and cause a huge risk here for wind. Now, while this certainly isn't a guarantee, we're going to take you through what in the world is causing these storms today. So right now, I want to note we have high amounts of storm energy here across our area, upwards of 3,000. That is, quite exceptional. For this time of year, it's fairly normal, but for a severe weather event, especially in East Tennessee, this just tells you it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be humid, and boy, those storms are gonna be loving it out there this evening. We're gonna take a look through time with this storm energy 2 hours from now, 4 hours from now, and you begin to see, the storms that fire up here that we're beginning to see, across East Tennessee. Still some storm energy remaining. That's not the meat and potatoes of this discussion, though. If we're going to take a look at really your significant factor here that'll drive today's event, look no further than your downdraft cape, your downdraft storm energy, and you can see your downdraft storm energy rapidly increases here across East Tennessee to about 1,100. Now, bear in mind, you only need roughly 800 units, for significant downdraft winds to occur. But when you have upwards of over 1,000, that's when you get your microburst/macroburst concern. That is what we're talking about. And that is exactly what happened yesterday. So please bear in mind with that. These values will continue through the night, so you might get woken up by an abrupt, strong to severe storm. Let's hope not, right? Fingers crossed on that. And with that being said, that about does it with today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you enjoyed this urgent local forecast, again, the first one I have ever done, please be sure to smash a like on the video and share with friends and family who may live in this area, and also consider subscribing to get more weather updates on mainly an every other day, possibly even daily basis as we head into hurricane season. That being said, thank you for watching and have a wonderful evening and night. Hopefully you don't get woken up by thunderstorms tonight.